戦おうか。我が名はユーハバッハ。お前のすべてを奪うのだ。お前たちの抱く希望も未来もすべて私のこの手で砕いてやる。さあ、新たな世界へ。ブリーチ、ブレイブソウルズ。
Alright guys, we're back again for yet another Bleach Brave Souls video, and we are here talking about this new 1000-Year Blower banner. And this is basically going to be a before you summon, before you skip kind of video. And I have to be 100% honest with you guys. I recommend you guys skip. I really do, because Songdu is literally the only good character in the banner. Toshiro, he's a NAD character, but like a melee one at that. They pretty much made him like a mid-month character, and he's not even better than the Ikaku that we had 2 weeks ago. And when you look at the fillers of the main banner, right? This is literally what we have. The best description to give this banner:
it's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Because it's all old 1000-Year Blower characters. There are no new premium banner characters like we had when Ichibei, Senjumaru, and Kiryu dropped. There are no new newer 1000-Year Blower characters to pull for like Concord, Ichigo, Uryu, and Chad. The Power 1000-Year Blower Yamamoto and the Tech Aizen have not even made their return yet, which is stupid. The end of year banner had the Heart Yuha, and I thought that this would be the banner in which they would return, but no, that's not the case. And there's not even Masaki in the banner, which, let's be honest here, we all hate as a filler, but she at least gave out a lot more value because she was pretty much a must-have for ranged no affiliation guild quests, and still is. And are you guys really going to be using these characters? No, because they are all characters that are going to be serving for collection purposes. Otherwise, pretty much collecting dust. And even then, just these 5 characters have yet to get a resurrection. Aizen and Ichigo did already, and even then, Aizen's a really good link, but outside of that, playable-wise, you need to have Killer, and then this True Shikai Ichigo.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
That is all. So again, I do not recommend summoning on this banner. If you guys are new, max 5 steps. If you guys are really trying to push forward to it, okay, 10, but don't go past step 10. Because you're not going to be making much usage out of most of the characters, and there's just no value. That's the thing. There's only one good character, and that is Songdu. We're going to break down the characters in a bit, so yeah. Just do not waste that many orbs for this character. Like, no. Like, I only recommend doing 2 steps, and if you guys really care about the character, then the best that you guys can do is go ahead and save for the individual banner. The individual banner isn't really all that much better, but at least there's some value to be had because you have Akon, who is going to be really good for being able to buff Retsu for a very hard guild quest, even Nightmare GQ for when it comes to melee Soul Reaper and Captain. This character is literally the key to getting above 50 seconds remaining. Like, you guys can easily nab around 52, 53, should you guys have a max transcendent, and this guy's essential, so there's that. But besides that, he's just a super pot farmer and nothing much. His skills aren't really all that great. Sajin still has a use in guild quest. Don't sleep on this dog. Like, as a NAD character, he definitely got his value up, although if you guys, you know, happen to have a full SP team with Yuha, and of course, I don't know, Parasol, Bruno, Yama, then you're probably not going to use this character, but this guy definitely got his value up to the point that getting copies of this character isn't a bad idea, and then Izu is just a droplet link. So, that's it. Better value on the individual banner, but not that much better compared to the main banner, because most of them, they're kind of niche, but like, it's still better than the main banner. And then Toshiro's individual banner, Ishin's good for brave battles, but that's really about it. That's the only good filler that you guys would want to pull for. Momo is a Linksaw Potion link, and that's it. You only want to pull her once, and that's it. And then Kaname is another 30% drop a link. Like, yeah, just save your orbs, if I'm being honest. If you guys really care about Songdu, then yeah, individual banner is the way to go. Hope that answers if you guys should summon or not, but now let's just go ahead and break down the two characters as a whole. Songdu. Now, the way of how I feel about this character is that I do think that he's stronger than Retsu. I do think that he is stronger than Retsu, and by far the best gauge character that we have in the game. He is better than both Ichibei and Nini, because this guy completely perfected the whole formula of how to make a gauge character. You do not make the character in base suckish, to then once you activate the gauge, you basically get all the extra benefits. Like in this case, it's completely balanced, and everything else, like you'll have no problems using this character for every single bit of content. Guild quests, limit breaker quests, inheritance trials, epic raids, you guys name it. This guy will be an exceptional monster. That being said, his kit is basically the same as Thousand Year Blower Unohana, just that you do not have the trap mechanic and you do not have the extra cooldown reduction when at full stand. But that's really just about it. But going into it, he's a melee holo killer that is speed, 40% SP boost. This is literally new for the game, and I'm gonna talk about this in a moment. Alright, he has Frenzy +2, Berserker 50, damage to frozen enemies of +40%, Marauder, strong attack reaches time of -12%, because he does also give out barriers on the second strong attack. He does have multi-bear, so he'll have 5 shields to work with, and will be giving his other allies 3 more shields. 80% SP boost, increased status summon chance against power attribute enemies, and then has the 3 skills that are going to help out with the gauge. He is the 3rd character to come with Gauge Rampage, so the more enemies you kill, the faster you fill up the gauge, and once you activate the gauge, you'll get your cooldowns reduced by 30%, and to make matters even better, you have a start gauge skill of 70%. So once you load up into the quest, you only need to do 2 to 3 strong attacks, and this guy is ready to go. And what does he get out of the gauge once you activate it? He gains an additional 2 flash steps, so he'll actually be able to have access to Sprinter +3 as a whole, and also gets an additional Frenzy, meaning that this guy gets Frenzy +3. This is the 2nd character that we can actually use for PvE content to ever have Frenzy +3, which is strong. And also, because he has the SP boost of 40%, this is gonna get doubled and stacks itself. So instead of having 80%, it's 120%, which is ridiculous. And the crazy thing is that this character, let's say he does get power crept, he will still provide value forever for your account, because you can just slap that onto any one of your speed units, and once you inflict a status element, you'll get 40% SP boost. If you guys really wanted to, this soul trait is going to serve as a big hand for most of the characters that inflict status elements but don't get SP boost. Primary example, 7th Anniversary Uryu, still a god, still one of the best units in the game. That being said, he just doesn't have the SP boost. And guess what? You'll at least be able to get the 40% with ease and just increase the total SP count, which is just, you know, ridiculous, man. And even a lot of older characters too. If you guys are simps for Dark Rukia, you can use it on her. You can use it on Swimsuit Retsu. You can use it on Ishin. You can literally use it on everyone. Even Tenjiro, which is stupid. He got a really good resurrection, just that he didn't get the 50% SP boost. And now with the arrival of Songdu, you can literally slap on him the 40% SP boost, and this guy will actually be cooking. Like, it's crazy. But most importantly, he is going to buff Retsu, Macy, and Ulquiorra, who have the 80% SP boost. And once again, it stacks, making the value for the link so damn good. The only problem is that you are going to be sacrificing cooldown reduction. So when you use Songdu, you need to make sure that you at least have one 14% recharge link and one 12% recharge link. Make sure to not run 10%, otherwise you're gonna have a bit of a tough time getting the cooldowns back compared to how you normally get them as per usual. So yeah, that being said, link-wise, it's a godsend. This guy will last forever on your account, which is insane. And DPS, he's ridiculously strong. I do think that he is by far one of the best damaging units in the game, like I stated, because again, he has Frenzy +3 already and does have with him 50% Berserker and 120% SP boost accompanied with damage to frozen enemies of plus 40%. If this guy had weakening, oh good god, it would have been insane. Now, you guys can actually argue for the fact that this guy has barriers to slow him down, and while to some degree it's true, because once you activate the second strong attack, you're gonna have to wait a good 20 seconds before you guys use it again, but the gauge in this case is going to help him out. So once you start playing as this character, the most appropriate thing that you guys should do is activate the SA2 first, and then use the SA1 and SA3. Then you'll be able to activate the gauge, immensely reduce the cooldowns, and you're already going to have the SA2 ready to use once again, which is actually going to help out a lot in his case for guild quests, limit break requests. It's going to be stupid, even though the cooldown reductions are not going to be as consistent compared to Retsu and Macy. And if we want to talk about overall best speed unit, again, I do think that this character can out-damage Retsu, but value-wise, I still think that Retsu is just, you know, a beyond a better character because of the double killers, because of the trap. Like, you're just gonna get a lot more value out of Max sending her than Sangdu. Like, this guy, you pretty much only want to get him once and you're good to go. If you guys want to risk it for the biscuit and try to get him 2-5, then I guess it'll work if he's your favorite Stern Ritter for whatever reason. But yeah, he's a really strong character, easily a top 2 contender for speed. For the best units in the game, he's definitely among there. I just don't know where to classify him yet. We'll just have to make another video talking about that, but he's definitely an easy number 2 for speed. That is the only good thing I have to talk about the banner, because Toshiro, this guy, is a normal attacking character meant for guild quest, and he has Captain Killer. Oh boy, I have a lot of bad news to deliver. So for starters, for very hard guild quest, right? If you have a Max Transcender Retsu and you run as the sides Akon and Shinji, you guys do not need this character. I have to be 100% honest. You're just gonna get a character that is just going to collect dust in your box and will just, you know, stay there. So for those of you guys that are tryharding in guild quest, trying to compete to get a really high score, you just don't need them. If you guys are casual at Guild Quest, you guys are looking for a NAD character to use, then fine. You guys have a good, solid case to use this character. So yeah, you guys can get him, he's gonna be good to use, but you guys just don't need to use him if you guys are really gonna be competitive and trying to go for the high scores and get the best that you guys can. For Nightmare GQ, that's probably gonna be a different case, but I don't doubt the possibility that Retsu can still pretty much solo Nightmare just because of how broken she is, especially with the trap and everything else. Maybe you might need Toshiro to pretty much, you know, use over Shinji. In this kind of case, you can still keep Akon and this guy will be boosting, but yeah, that's pretty much about it. And honestly, the whole problem of this character comes down to the killer, Captain. Like, again, with everything that is stated, I don't think this was a really good selection of killers for this character to be used in Guild Quest, because I'd want the killer to be among one of these 3 Guild Quest rotations. Melee Espada, because Dordone is an SP character. While he does have the booster skill, I think that he primarily sucks in terms of getting damage out. He only has like, what, base Frenzy with, I believe, 40 or 60% Berserker. I do not remember, but like, he doesn't have 80% SP boost. No Havoc, he just sucks. So yeah, that's a good reason to have a Spada killer. Then either Quincy Sternritter killer, because Chad is the only character that can boost and do high damage. Only difference is that he has 100% pure damage, meaning that once you inflict status elements with your main, goodbye damage with Chad. He's going to suck. So he's not a good character to use besides the boost. And then pretty much Squad Zero Human. Although for that, it does have a good spot with Tatsuki, but it can use better since Tatsuki is a bit outdated in terms of damage because she only has like, what, Frenzy +1 and 40% Berserker with a boost, no booster. So again, it could use a bit of a help. So yeah, that's why Captain Killer is not a good choice in killers. Now, what I'm gonna say is, the Soul Trade is godly. Normal attack damage inflicted at full stam 40, that I can see being really good for the next power character that happens to be a flurry character and happens to hopefully one day top the Tech 1000-Year Blower Eisen. Bro, I I'm more pissed that we still aren't getting an 80% attack buff character that is a NAD unit. Like, come on. Do you guys not realize how power crept these NAD characters are? Like, no. And guess what? Outside of Guild Quests, this guy is gonna be fodder. Irrelevant. I'm sorry, but melee NAD units are not the way to go about it. You're not gonna be using them for IT. Hell no. But yeah, innate abilities, dodge Soul Reaper damage 50% works for Guild Quest. Sprinter +1, Marauder, and yeah, Flurry +1, but those have Flurry +2 in Guild Quests. Bro, that's just so stupid. Give him directly Flurry +2. Why even make the skill to begin with? That just doesn't make any sense. 50% killer effect in Guild Quest and 30% melee damage in Guild Quest. Those have the booster skill, so again, this is why I would have preferred if he had either Espada, Quincy Sternritter, or Squad Zero Human. That would have been a lot better. It would have helped those rotations even more that needed. Star Bearer +15, that's new, but honestly speaking, berries only last for 20 seconds, so it really doesn't change much of how the character's performance will be with the berries. Enhancer, long reach of 20%, bruiser 50, poise, and paralysis immunity. At least he does have the right status summon reduction, but again, this character needed a different killer. And also, I'm just so annoyed how they literally made him a power character. This is not what we need for a power man. Swap the damn attributes and make Sangdu a fucking power character. Okay? If Sangdu was power and Toshiro was speed, I would not be complaining. I would have been completely fine, although I would have still stated my negativity that I had towards this character for Captain Guild Quest regardless, making him a bit fodder in that kind of case, alright? That is all. He still needed a different killer. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. Just Sangdu is the only good character that you guys need to get. And then the fillers, oh boy, we're gonna sum it up in a nutshell. This character gave me PTSD. He's just a ranged NAD character with Flurry +1, only 30% bruiser. If you guys don't have a better ranged holo killer to use for Guild Quest, that's just about it. He's pretty much only useful for that, but like only if you have max transcended, and he's pretty much worthless. Toshiro, only Frenzy +1, Berserker 20, Havoc, paralysis on his entire kit. He needs a resurrection. Like, there's just no other way to go about it. He's just unusable right now as is, even though he has a good kit with a 3k length beam, 960, 1200 radius, and yeah, that's just about it. This character also needs a resurrection. He pretty much has the same damage output as Toshiro. Like, his stuff is pretty much the same. And even then, the kit, he's just a lunging character, like lunge on SA1, lunge on SA2, full screen SA3, yeah, he needs a resurrection. Jugrim, outdated PvP character. If you use this character in PvP, you are going to get murdered by none other than Boobs, and he needs a resurrection. Bambietta, the same situation as Chojuro. This character needs a resurrection, and funny enough, almost shares the same exact kit, just that she has a really SA1. Aizen has a resurrection. He's a really good link, full stamina damage boost of 16%, and he can at least do respectable damage numbers, but you need to have killer in him for IT. But even then, only use this character if you like playing as Aizen. Keep in mind, he has the 40% shave. This is the old one, not the new one that we pretty much know and love from Asnot. BS, Crawling Vortex, and then the 3 Sage SA3, still the only one of a kind that has, you know, 2 different charges to it, where the first is 1080 and then the next is 1200, so, yeah, just a good resurrection, really good link, but besides that, as a playable character, you need to have killer if you want to use this character.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Do not use him for Guild Quest. Like, his SA1 will just screw you over. It doesn't even freaking matter. And that's about it. I'm done. I think I've rambled on long enough. If you guys can save your orbs, for the better. We're gonna get more 1,000-year blower banners. Like, this isn't the only one that is dropping. So hopefully, next end of the month, if we do get another 1,000-year blower banner, and seeing as it's doing fights between Soul Reapers and Quincy's, I would not be surprised if the next end of month banner can be Soifun and BG9. If that's the kind of case, let's just hope that this is not going to be the same way of how they treated this banner, because it should not be a thing, and this is just a terrible execution, because this feels too much like a mid-month banner. Like, if this were a Crown Summons, it would have been a lot better. I do not care what people say. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys have enjoyed it, don't forget to smash that like button, share this video with your friends and family, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already, and hit the bell notification so that way you guys are up to date with my most recent videos. This has been your boy, the Dash Smasher, and I am officially signing out. If you guys are gonna go deep, best of luck, but please do not go past step 10. Don't. It's not worth it. So yeah. Peace out. Bye. Sayonara. Ciao, ciao.